All right, guys, welcome to this session, and I hope all of you guys are doing good. So let's get started with today's session. In today's session, we are going to talk about ChatGPT, or basically a product developed by OpenAI. So we are going to understand this particular product, and at the same time, we can see what all things we can do using this product in our day-to-day task. It's an amazing solution which they have come up with, and we are going to leverage that for our day-to-day needs. So first of all, how will I access this particular product? So for that, you have to go to this website, which is openai.com. And once you go ahead and reach to this website, you can go to here. You can see there are various options available. We'll go to the products. And in the products, here you can see that we have this option of ChatGPT login. So there we can click on login and we can basically go ahead and we can create our account. I already have my account. So you can see that I directly connected to the account and I logged in with my credentials. Now here we have various plans available. If you go to this option called upgrade plan, right? So you can see that we have multiple plans available. First plan is obviously the free version, which you can go with, which is very much sufficient for us to basically solve a lot of tasks on a day-to-day basis. But if you want to use some advanced features of ChatGPT, then in that case, you can think of upgrading this to the other plans. Obviously, this is still okay, $20 per month, which is around 1600, 1700 rupees per month. This is looks like quite expensive and we don't need that as such, right? There is a upgraded model which they have, O1 and O1 mini. So they are giving unlimited access to us. But if you see here, we are getting the limited access, which is more than sufficient, right? So I think if you are looking for some advanced functionalities and you want to use that, then I think this is the one which you can think of. But as of now, as initial days of your ChatGPT, you can use the free version and try to understand whether it is really helpful for us or not. ChatGPT is one of the products. Apart from that, we have various other products also available from various other companies. Like from Google, it is Gemini and other products are also available. For example, for Microsoft, Copilot is there. So you can think of other products as well. But yes, in this particular session, we are going to focus more on OpenAI ChatGPT. The version which I am using is this paid version. So I have this plus plan, which I am using on my day-to-day task. And this is the page where we can actually give the prompts and we can ask questions. And based on that questions, you will get the responses. And the responses which you are going to get is quite amazing. And it is actually helping us like an assistant. And I can very well go ahead and I will solve a lot of my reusable tasks using this particular product. For example, let's say I want to write an email to my customer, or I want to write an email to my manager, or if I want to go ahead and I want to create a resume, or I want to create a minutes of meeting, or any random thing which you are looking for, which is like quite repetitive for your day-to-day task, then this particular tool can help you. So let's start with the content creation first, like what all type of content we can create, and then we'll get into some coding solutions as well. And then we are going to talk about one of the interesting concepts as well, which is API. So let's start with some of the prompts. Let's say I want to write an email to my manager and I'm looking for a promotion because I worked with various different projects and all the projects were delivered successfully. So I want to highlight that so that I will get the promotion. So we can write the prompts. So prompt is basically nothing but an instruction which I am giving to the machine. And based on that, you will get the responses. So prompt engineering is again one of the very interesting and more required job profile these days in the US, because they are looking for the prompt engineers who are going to create the effective prompts. Because I can write any prompt, but yes, the idea is that my prompt should give me as accurate as possible responses, because that is again a cost, which we will discuss more in detail once we'll talk about API. So let me write a prompt. So I want to write an email. And you can see that I'm purposefully making this spelling mistakes. It is still able to understand that, right? So I want to write an email where I want to highlight my achievements, which I had in the last year. Like I worked with Celgene project and improved the productivity by 2x, and worked with MX where we have reduced the cost by 5x. I am looking for promotion. So write an email to my manager. Let's say Girish, and ask for the same. Sign the email as Rahul. So here I've given the prompt and you can see that I am getting the email. This process is basically known as amplification. So basically what we are doing is we are just giving 3-4 lines and giving the context to machine that this is what I'm looking for. And based on that context, it is amplifying the text. You can see that I just wrote 3-4 lines and in the response, it is giving me more of a text with detailed information about the same. Whichever thing you don't like it, you can very well go ahead and you can remove that, you can edit that, or you can ask machine that, no, I don't want this. So automatically it will update. For example, I want to add my uh, team size details as well, because I took care of the big team. My team size was 50 plus. Add this in the email. So now it will going to generate again the email, and in that it will add that particular pointer as well. You can see here you will find somewhere, right? So that is how we can write an email, and it will be quite ready for us to use that for our day-to-day task. Whatever email you want to write, you can do that. For example, let's say your client, or let's say I'm running a retail store and or maybe a restaurant, and customers are not happy with that. So I want to write an apology email. So I can go for that also. Right. So that all those things can be done. And that is basically help us to write the emails the same way. For example, I want to write a resume, right? So I am having, let's say, 17 plus years of experience in data science and data analysis. Work with Accenture, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, and Deloitte. Currently working with my own startup. Write a resume for the same. Here I just gave the experiences and all, and based on that, it is going to generate the entire resume, right? So here you can see that it all automatically gave the name Rahul, because it is taking the context from the previous prompt that my name is Rahul. Somewhere I have mentioned, right? Sign the email as Rahul. So it is taking that context and it is using that information and giving the entire resume for me. And here I can add my university, I can give my details and automatically the entire resume gets created. Right, so that is again one of the interesting tasks which we can do. So like this, you can do a lot of things, right? For example, let's say I want to write a blog. And I always tell my learners that if you are using this particular tool, you can very well think of utilizing that for making your presence in social media, right? For example, LinkedIn. So you can go ahead and you can start writing a blog. You can put that in the LinkedIn and start getting the comments and all those things, right? So we can basically create a lot of content from this particular software. And that is the benefit. And that is the drawback for the content creators, right? So you can see that there is a lot of uh, impact happened negatively on the content creators who are basically earlier used to write content and charge for it. Now machine can do that for us. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of our technical stuffs. That is, can I get some technical help as well from this particular software? For example, let's say I want to write a code on Python. Let's say I want to create an expense tracker, right? And I want to build this using programming language, functional programming language, and I want to implement that in Python. So I can give that prompt again. So write a code for expense tracker using Python and use functional programming language. And create the code for me. Now here you can see that as per his understanding, it is going to generate the entire this thing, right? Function or entire code. And once it will generate the code, after that, I can think of making the changes, or I can give the proper prompt as well that I'm looking for expense tracker where I want these options. You are showing on browser or app. I'm using browser, right? It's a web browser. I'm not using any app. So this is the website. Okay. So I'll copy this code and then I can launch my Jupyter notebook. Just give me a second. So here is my Jupyter notebook and I can paste this code and done. So something is coming in, but overall it is not looking that great. I want user prompts as well. Like I want someone should ask that what expense you want and something like that, right? So I want to make some change in the code. So here I will ask that it should ask user about expenses from the list of expenses, and then things should move further. So I gave a bit of idea that I want my end user to be asked that what type of expenses you had, and then based on that, it will go ahead and it will do the rest of the steps. So I've given that. Let's see what happens. So it is still executing. You can see that this is still going on. So once it will generate the code, it will stop. So here you can see the code is almost completed. Yes. So now I'll copy this code and now let's see what happens. So yes, you can see that now it is coming in where it is saying that welcome to the expense tracker. And then I told you this is not an app, right? This is a website, ChatGPT, or you can say you can go to OpenAI. I already gave that discussion, right? This is the website, OpenAI. Go to the products and then click on the ChatGPT login, and then you can play around with that. Okay. All right. So now you can see that this is asking welcome to the expense tracker. Add the new expense, view all expenses, filter expenses by category, view total expenses, view summary by category. Let's say I'm saying I want to add an expense. So I'll choose option number 1. Enter the date. let's say 20250121. Enter the category. We'll just check it out. What all categories this particular code had given, right? So as of now, you can see that in this code, I don't see any specific category defined by the code. So I can go with any category. So let's say I am putting the category as food. Enter the amount, let's say 100 rupees. Enter the description, food bill for lunch, something like that. Then again, it is saying choose an option 1 to 6. You want to add any other expense? Yes, I want to. Let's pass the same date. Category, let's say maybe fuel. Amount, let's say 500 or 5,000. The description, car fuel, right? That's it. Now, what do you want? I want to view all my expenses. So I'll click on 2 and you can see that I am getting all my expenses, food bill, date, category, amount, description, everything is coming in. I want to filter the expenses by category. So I'll pass 3, enter the category. The category is fuel. So you can see that it is only giving me the fuel category, right? Same way, I want to view all my expenses. I'll press 4. You can see that it is giving me all my expenses. That is 5100. And then view by summary, I'll give 5. So it is gonna give me the summary that $100 in food and $5,000 in fuel. And then I will exit also. So that is how we can create the code. As per the requirement from the business, we can pass the prompt. And after that, it will generate the code. And based on that, I can do the modification as well, right? The way we did here, a bit of modification that I wanted my end user to ask for the details. And this is how the entire code is coming in. So that is again one of the interesting use case which we have. One more thing we can do here is that, for example, let's say this is my code and purposefully there is a problem in the code. Let's say I'm removing this line of a code and my code is now going to face some error. I'm coding it and I'm not understanding what is the problem, which line is actually causing the problem. So I'll put this code on this ChatGPT and I'll say, I am facing an error in the code, fix the same, also highlight where was the problem, right? So here you can see that I have given the code and it is clearly mentioning that this was the problem, added the missing parenthesis. I removed this part, right? If you go back to this code, at the choice 4, I have removed certain text. And that is what you can see that it is removing. It is showing that it was not there. And now it is putting that, and this is the fixed code. It recreated the code with all the fixes, right? So fix is done. I'll copy this code and it will run perfectly fine. So basically here the idea is that if I am doing any coding and I am stuck somewhere, then I can very well take help from this machine and I can ask for, okay, what is the problem? Let me go ahead and use that software to fix that. One more interesting use case is this code is created on Python, right? When I was working for Deloitte, we had a client where they had written all the codes in SAS programming language. And they wanted to change that from Python, like from SAS to Python. So we had to first understand, we have to first understand the entire logic, right? After understanding the logic, we have to convert the entire code from SAS to Python. Now, the same thing I want to do here. Obviously, that project took a lot of time and efforts, and obviously business had to pay a lot of money for that. But now because of this LLMs, which we are having like ChatGPT and other LLMs which are available, I can very well go ahead and I can solve that type of problem as well in just quick a few prompts, right? So let's say I want the same code to be written in R programming. Write the code. So what it will do, it will convert this entire code from Python programming to R programming. And you can see that this entire code is coming in. Obviously, I don't have R in my machine as of now, but you can see that this code is running perfectly fine. Or I can say it is creating the code. If you are having knowledge of R programming, then you will understand that yes, code is looking fine. So overall, this is how we can go ahead and we can do this type of problem statements as well. And you can think of any programming language. If you are stuck in SQL, if you're stuck in C programming, if you're stuck in maybe Julia, R, Python, you can go ahead and you can ask for the help. So that is again one of the interesting use cases which we have. Now, apart from that, what else things we can do here? Now, let's say, again, I have this pro version with me. So this is the benefit of pro version, which I will show you now. So this is, sorry, plus version, not pro version, but the plus version which I have. So the benefit which I will have is I can attach the files as well, right? For example, let's say I am having an Excel file and I want to go ahead and I want to analyze that file. I want to get the insights from that file. And rather than me doing that manually using Python or any other programming language, I want ChatGPT to do that, right? Obviously, we cannot use the sensitive data. If it's your client's data, it is not advisable to do that because as of now, we are not sure how the security is, how the OpenAI is treating the data which we are passing. It is also advisable that do not pass your personal details, confidential details, because as of now, we are not sure how it is actually behaving. But yes, if let's say you are having certain requirement from the client and you want to understand that how we can solve it using ChatGPT, then you can maybe create some dummy data and using the dummy data, you can get the suggestions. That is pretty much okay. So as of now, I'm just using one simple open source data. So I'm clicking on the attached file and I will go to my desktop. And in the desktop, there is a file called tips.csv. And I want to know more about this file and I want to get some insights from this file as well. So this attachment option is available in the plus version and pro version. I think in the free version also this option is there, but for limited usage, right? So you can go and you can check it out. So I will ask, what is the content in this file? So under the hood, it is actually running Python, right? If you click on this drop down, you can see that it is actually using the Python packages like pandas and all those things. So once that is done, you can see it is giving me the entire details that this uploaded file contain data about tips received at a restaurant with the following columns. So the details are coming in. Now my interest is I want to get insights that how many males and females are there because you can see the sex column is there. So I can ask how many males and females are there. So once I pass that information again under the hood, it will run Python and with that, it will going to give me the output. You can see here, if I click on this, it will show me the entire code which it ran under the hood, right? So that is how it is. Suppose let's say I want to create a chart as well. So I will ask, I want to know what is the total bill by gender and smoker. Create the chart for the same. Or I can specifically mention as well, create the bar chart, create the bar chart. So now I am giving this prompt to the machine and you can see that it is going to give me the chart as well. I can very well download that chart. Or if you want the Python code, you can ask for that also. You can see the chart is coming in. I can say, give me the Python code which you used to create the chart. So it is going to give me the Python code as well. So it is making things quite simple for us, quite easy for us, at the same time, quite, what do you say, beneficial for us on the day-to-day task. And you can see that the chart is coming in. I can very well get my data in Python and I can copy this code. It will automatically generate the chart, right? So that type of data analysis also I can do using this particular software which we have. Suppose let's say I am passing a picture, right? For example, let's say I'm uploading one of the pictures, which is my, let's say one of the data models. Give me a second. Let's say I'm passing one of the data models. This is the data model which I am passing. You can see I'm just pressing the enter. This is the data model. If you are coming from the SQL background, then you must be understand or data warehousing background, you must be understanding what it is. So basically, this is nothing but a data model which consists of around 5, 6 tables, where this is my sales table, which is connected with the customer table using the customer key. Sales table is connected with the territory table using the territory key. Sales table connected with the product table using the product key. Product table is further connected with the subcategory table using subcategory key. And subcategory table is further connected with the category table using category key. So I've given this picture to ChatGPT. Now my interest is what I want to understand this. So you can see that uploaded file is a data model diagram, multiple tables, this coming in. Now I want to write some queries based on that, right? So data model is with me. The table names are with me, and I want to get some insights about the data. For example, I want to find the total sales by region, and also I want the top 5 customers per region. Write the SQL query for the same. Right? So using that data model, it will understand that, okay, these are the tables with us. And based on that, it will write the query as well. And you can see that the SQL query generated, where you can see that we have region total sales based on, and it is going to give me top 5 also. You can see a top five customers, top 5 customer per region, right? So this is the query coming in. Also, if you want to know that, okay, from this data model, what all insights can I get? So I can ask that also. From this data model, which I uploaded, what all important insights can I get? Give me 5 major important insights. And also give me the SQL query for the same as well. Right? So basically data model given, and I want to know what all insights can I get from that data. So it is, you can see giving me the suggestions. You can get total sales by product category, giving the query for the same. Customer demographic analysis, income and region wise sales. So the query is coming in. Top 5 best selling products. Again, the query is coming in. Monthly sales trend. Again, the query is coming in. And product profitability analysis. And again, the query is coming in. So basically it is giving me that these are certain insights which you can get from the data set, and this is how you can write the query to get those insights. So that is how, this is again one of the interesting use case where I can upload the pictures and I can get the insights. Again, don't go with the critical business, but yes, if you are working for any client and you can create some dummy data model that this type of data we have, this type of tables we have, so what all insights I can get. So that type of things we can very well do. But don't upload any client information on this particular software as of now, right? So that is one of the use cases which we have, which is again quite interesting, quite beneficial. Now, what else we can do? Apart from that, see, we have seen as a technical guy, we can get a lot of help from this particular software and we can use it in our day-to-day work. Now, suppose let's say I want to create any picture. So I can actually do that also, right? So I can ask, I want to create a picture where I want where kids are playing cricket on the beach and mountains are also there. Also, it's a night time and I can see a full moon and kids are enjoying while playing ticket. So here I have given the prompt that this is the thing which I want. This is this type of picture I want, and it will generate the picture for us. So here you can see that it is generating the picture, and you can see the picture is coming in with full depiction of what we have asked for. If you are not liking this picture, then you can ask for that, create one more picture, and I want the picture to be rectangular, right? So because of this software, right, basically there is one more model which is running under the hood, which is known as Del E, which is generating these type of pictures. And again, these are copyright. There is no copyright on this. It's a free picture, so you can very well use that in your content as well, right? So the picture got created, you can very well use that. And again, this is an impact to the content creators who are like more of a graphic designers and all. So we have a lot of softwares apart from ChatGPT as well, which are coming in, which is helping us to generate a lot of interesting tools, right? A lot of interesting products. So that is how it is. So that is how this is the software which is working in. Now, various companies are actually using now these type of large language models, right? And it is basically generating a lot of interesting stuffs. And I recently purchased one of the products for my this thing, right? I wanted to create certain videos. So I purchased one of the products where it is automatically generating the videos, right? So that is again one of the interesting thing which is happening in this field of AI. Now I want to highlight one more thing here. This is about the product which ChatGPT is coming from on OpenAI. One more product which they have, which is we are going to use it also, or we may have to use it also based on the requirement from the business. That is known as APIs, right? So what are APIs now? Application Programming Interface. So basically APIs are nothing but in OpenAI, basically, suppose let's say I want to create my own website, right? And in this website, I am looking for a chatbot. So what I want is I want to use the OpenAI model to a part of this chatbot. Basically, OpenAI will act as a chatbot, or I can say the OpenAI model like the ChatGPT models, GPT-4 and all. I want that to be a part of my website. And if someone will ask any question about my products, OpenAI should respond based on that. My website is not the OpenAI product. My website, let's say I created in Python. And what I want is I want to connect this OpenAI model as well so that it will act as a chatbot in my website. So basically APIs are nothing but OpenAI APIs are nothing but which we can use in our products, right? We can use in our products. For example, my website, or let's say Google Sheets, Google Docs, Microsoft Excel. So basically we can connect the power of OpenAI with our own products as well. And for that, we should have the access to the APIs. Now, how will I get the API? So again, I will go back to my this thing, OpenAI website. And here in the products, you can see that there is an option of API login. I click on that. And once I click on that, I will have to give my login credentials. So once I do that, I will be logged in to the OpenAI this API platform. And here, if I go to dashboard, here you can see API keys are coming in, right? When I'm going to the dashboard, API keys are coming in, and I can very well generate the API keys. For example, I'm generating today 21. So here you can see that this is the API key which I am generating, which is an alphanumeric text, right? Which is an alphanumeric text, which I am putting in here. So this text or this API key I have to pass in my application, which I am developing. Now, what is the benefit of this? This is like, you can say it's nothing but a connectivity which I will have in my application with OpenAI. For example, let's say I created one of the products, which is basically I have my, again, for my practice purpose only, I had my SQL database, right? Which consists of, let's say, employee details, employee information, employee database, right? I created one front end in Python, which was connecting with MySQL and responding to the front end. Here I connected this OpenAI chatbot. And I had this box where I have to write the question. How many employees are there? OpenAI is understanding this text, generating the SQL query, that is select count star from employee, hitting the database and responding the output, how many employees are there, right? So that type of product I have built just for my practice purpose. So this type of things also we can do using the OpenAI APIs. Now here, obviously this was an open source database which is there in my machine. But if you are using any client's information, then it is not advisable. That's why many companies are now creating their own LLMs as well, so that they don't have to be dependent on OpenAI and all those things, right? That is why there's a huge demand on the AI and ML professionals because they are going to build all these products. Now here prompt is coming very important. I told you at the very start of the session that prompt engineers are very much in demand and there is a huge amount of requirement for the job they have. Now, what is the reason for it? Let's take the same example of website. I am having a website and I have a chatbot, right? And this chatbot is coming from OpenAI. I'm using the power of OpenAI in my website. OpenAI will not act as a chatbot for free, right? They will charge something from you. Now, what is the charge? If you go back to this website, right? If you go back to this website here, you can see that there are certain usages and based on the usages, there's a cost involved, right? Here you can see the cost and all. If you are using it, as of now, I did not use this particular thing. So you can see there is no monthly spend is there, but there is a cost. Now, what is that cost? Let's try to understand that cost. There are two costs involved in this. First cost is, suppose let's say your end user asking any question to the chatbot. For example, let's say this website is about uh, the courses. Let's say uh, I'm selling my courses on the website and I want my chatbot to respond about my courses. So this guy is asking question that what all courses are there. So what will happen? OpenAI will understand first what it is asking. That will be a cost because OpenAI should have to understand first what is the requirement. So when user passing a prompt, that is a cost for me, which OpenAI will charge. And second is OpenAI will respond based on that. So that will be a cost as well. So there is an input cost and there is an output cost. Output cost I cannot control much, but input cost I can control. If user is passing correct prompts, then user will not have to pass multiple prompts, right? The idea is that user should pass as correct prompt as possible so that they will get as correct information as possible. But if user is passing not correct prompts, in that case, again, it's like a to and fro discussion between chatbot and this guy. and that will increase this input and output cost. So that is why the prompt engineers are coming into picture, which can basically give certain prompts, that these are the prompts which is going to be the best prompts, which will give me the correct information, and only those prompts will be available in the website. So this user can only choose between those prompts only. So that is impacting this input cost quite drastically in a positive manner, right? That is why the prompt engineers are very much in demand, because finding the correct prompt, how the machine is responding based on that is an important task, because that is actually saving a lot of cost. And that is the reason you will see a lot of requirements of prompt engineers. So overall, these are the various products we have. These are the various implementations we have. And again, at the same time, these are very important and critical uh, products for us on a day-to-day task. At the same time, yes, we don't have to worry about that AI is coming and we are going to lose the jobs or something like that. Yes, we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to upgrade ourselves and we have to go ahead and we have to understand how these softwares are working in. What's the process to get it unblocked in HDFC Bank? If companies are not giving the access, that means there is no process, right? You can use your personal laptops for the same. Do we require any specific authorization to use GPT, since I am an AI and I, since it's an AI and will send data to their own servers? Yeah, that is what I told you, right? Don't use your personal information. Just go ahead and play around with this. If you are having any specific task, you can create a dummy data and use that dummy data and ask for the help. And once it will help us, after that, you can implement the same on your data set. But don't expose your critical information to this type of apps as of now, right? Because we are not sure how the security and how the OpenAI is going to use this. Okay. So that is the idea. These all things can be done. Very, very interesting stuff's coming in the market, and that is obviously help us to extend our knowledge. But at the same time, yes, we have to keep ourselves up to date as well, because things are quite rapidly changing and we have to be up to date. We have to be up to the mark. Don't have to worry about AI is coming in. So what will happen? We have to learn. Initial days when Excel and PowerPoint came in, so we had to learn that so that we can use that. Same way now AI is coming in, so we have to learn that and we have to go ahead and we have to use that, right? So that is the idea what we have. Will OpenAI O3 model replace skilled workers? As again I told you, right? Nothing can replace a human, that is for sure. But yes, we have to be upgrade ourselves. If there are redundant tasks like content creation or maybe some of the tasks which is quite repetitive task, so that will be replaced by AI. But obviously, who developed AI? Human only developed the AI. So there will be a requirement, and we have to keep ourselves upgraded to be to be not impact because of AI, right? That is what I can say as of now. So now last 15 minutes, any doubts you have, you can ping me on the chat and we can have a discussion on the same. I hope you got the idea about this particular product, how it is and what all benefits we can get. Anything which you want me to explore or anything which you want me to ask, let me know. Also, from the next month, we are going to start a series like this free webinar where we are going to talk about AI in detail. We will be talking about artificial neural network, convolutional neural network, recurrent neural network, encoders, decoders, transformers. So these are the topics which we are going to cover. So from next month, we are going to start that. Every month we will be having 2 sessions. you can join it for free and you can get the understanding about the technicalities of the same, right? As of now, I have given you the idea about how this product working, but on those sessions, we will discuss how these products actually created, right? So we'll talk about the mathematical parts, some of the interesting insights. So you can, if you want, you can join that as well. It will be free of cost for your understanding. You can join that. Okay, I see some of the questions coming in. What is the learning path for database engineer? Learning path will be for database engineer is obviously SQL. If you're coming from non-coding background, you can learn SQL, which is very important in any of the databases. And then maybe some of the ETL tools, or if you are looking to get into big data side, then you can go for that side as well, and you can learn that. What exactly does one need to learn to sustain in rapidly growing AI market? See, all these tools, first of all, how to use that. Prompt engineer is one of the job roles which you can very well go with. At the same time, you can go with how these tools are getting created. That is more of a AI thing. And obviously for AI thing, bit of ML knowledge is also required. So if you're aware of all those things and keep understanding or upgrading yourself with the latest technologies, then I think that is what we have to go with. Can we make whole program with this? We can make whole program with this. We can make the entire real-time end-to-end solution using this. Suppose I want to create a website end-to-end, I can very well do that using this, right? So again, um, let's say you are coming from a website world, but you want to make your task a bit easier, then you can take help from this. You can create your account in Fiverr and all those websites. You can start using these products to create your websites, and you can start creating your own website, like creating the website for your clients, right? So some of the reusable tasks which we can very well go ahead and we can use that, and we can create our own business, right? We can have our own business using ChatGPT. Can we make a business out of chat? Yes, that is what I told you, right? So if you are looking for some of the, for example, simple example, right? I am a website developer, for example, and I want to create that. So I will create some accounts in Fiverr, Freelancer, and all those things. I'll get the projects and I will take help from ChatGPT and start building the websites. And now some more questions. I'll take it. Give me a second. Image along with content. Yes, we can do that. If I'm passing an image and I want image along with content, I'm assuming that suppose I'm having a text in the image. That also we can do very well. It will give me the idea. We already have seen, right, that data model example. So same way, suppose let's say you are having a picture of your, let's say, financial statement. So you can get the insights from that. What is the revenue? What is the expenses? All those details, you can very well get it. Basic requirement to be prompt engineer. You should be basically dealing with a lot of LLMs. Try to understand the behavior of LLMs and then start creating the prompts. Make your prompt more effective. There are various techniques available, like improvising the prompts. So all those things you should be aware of. And then, yeah, that is the path which you have to follow. How the video creation works in AI. Again, there are various softwares which they are using. So you have to just give the prompt that I'm looking for this type of video and I want this to happen. Then it will generate the entire video. If you are interested, I'll show you one of the products. Give me a second. So this is the product which I have purchased because I am creating a lot of content. So this is Instadoodle. So now what happens is that I have to give the entire story about my video. I click on this. Here you can see AI wizard. I click on next script. I can give my entire script here, right? And based on that script, it will generate the entire doodle for me. For example, I created this video. So I'm creating one of the small projects for my learners. So I gave the idea that this is what the project which I want to create, and it created this entire video for me. I can give the voiceovers and all as well, but I will give my own voiceover. That's why I did not create that. But there is an option of generating the voiceovers using AI as well, where the machine will speak in a human touch, right? But here you can see that the video got created and I just have to use my voiceover and it will generate the entire video, right? So this is the video which already, or everything was done by machine only. This pictures and all, everything was decided by machine, right? I did not do anything. With such a useful tool, this is still banned in almost all companies. What companies must do? See, it is not used in the companies because companies are not looking to share the confidential information. That's the reason it is banned, right? And as I mentioned, you have to use your personal PCs and start exploring the things from your side because companies will not take any risk because they are not aware how this will be going to used, right? How the data will be used by machines. So that is the reason. And that is obvious, right? That is obvious. No one will want their data to be exposed. So you have to use your own personal machines and you can very well go ahead and you can learn or you can explore the things from your side. Okay, I see some more questions. Let me take it. Accuracy with output from our ChatGPT, how can we check it? If the output is huge and can do it manually. See again, output is huge, you can have to accuracy is good, but you have to read it. For example, let's say I told you, right? I want you guys to create a blogs and start putting in the LinkedIn. But when machine is generating the blog, your task is what? Your task is to review it once, right? We will not be fully dependent on machine. So you have to review it once and then you have to publish that anywhere where you want to. So bit of a human touch is there, right? You have to do that. Everything machine will do, then what is the use of you, right? So you have to go and you have to work on that. What exactly does one need to learn? So, already discussed. How can we implement ChatGPT on our website? Using this, you just have to connect this. Basically, the idea is I already talk about this thing, right? What is that? OpenAI API. You have to suppose, let's say I'm creating a website using Python. So in Python, you have to install one of the packages called OpenAI. And once you have a OpenAI package with Python, you can very well connect the power of OpenAI with ChatGPT using passing that API key. And then done. You can create your own website and it will be very much integrated. So whichever programming language you are using for creating the website, you have to use the package for that to connect OpenAI. And once that connectivity is established, then we are good. All AI chat are pricing. Is there any free tool? ChatGPT is free for few of the things. For basic understanding of the tool, ChatGPT you can use. Attachments and all those things, you may not do that, but basic understanding ChatGPT will help you to give that. There are a lot of tools, but why do people talk more about ChatGPT only? Because ChatGPT was first, right? Who went to the moon first? We are aware of, but who went second? We are maybe not. That is one of the reasons. Second is obviously ChatGPT. Again, I used all the softwares, but the interface which ChatGPT is providing me is very much intuitive and very much easy for understand. But for other tools, it's bit of a tricky as of now. So that is why my preferred choice is also ChatGPT, and for many people as well, because that is very, very intuitive. Can we use it for generating diagrams and smart art on Word file and PPT? We can do that, yes. What are the AI tools for data analyst and Python developer? As such, there is no AI tool. You have to use the power of ChatGPT and you can create your products using Python, right? So basically, AI tool will help you to generate or help or like assistant for you to go ahead and use that. Second is if you are using Jupyter Notebook, then there are certain extensions are available in Jupyter, which can be AI driven. So you can use that for code suggestions and all those things. How ChatGPT work is their own ChatGPT database. Yes, they have their own servers, and from that the input output is happening. So how it works, as I mentioned, there's a transformer inside that, and we will be starting a new series of AI from next month. So if you are interested, you can join that and you can have a discussion about how these things are actually working. How is ChatGPT 4 used in banking industry as security is major concern? Any other alternative chat? That is what I told you, right? Many companies are start building their own GPTs because they don't want to be dependent on other GPTs created by someone else, right? So I've seen that many companies they have already start building their GPTs, and if you are in a bank, bank will also start creating their own GPTs as well. There is no doubt on that. India is also investing a lot of money on AI. So Indian government took land in Delhi NCR where they will be setting up big servers, and yeah, that is happening. So things are moving quite extensively. Can you please provide a list of all AI tools which should be learned and what are their purpose? As of now, see, LLMs are only there, and some of the image building tools are there. So you can start exploring, or I think you can ask ChatGPT what all tools are available because it's a big market, right? So you can ask ChatGPT what all tools are available. He will guide you, right? He will not, he or she, whatever it is, will guide you. It's not like very much partial that I will only talk about ChatGPT. It will talk about other tools as well. So you can explore that. That is one of your tasks. You can explore and get the insights. It's copyright free. The images which it is generating is copyright free. So you can very well use that in your content. You can see many YouTubers are using AI images, right? So if you want, you can just use the image. You can at the bottom, you can write created by AI. That is okay. Because as of now, there is no guidelines of AI generated products. So we can use that. So I see almost all the questions done. Copilot versus ChatGPT, what are the pros and cons? See, again, I told you I use ChatGPT quite extensively. I had a bit of Copilot and Gemini and all those things, but I did not like the interface, so I did not explore that much. But again, if you are looking forward for understanding what is Copilot, what is ChatGPT, and what are pros and cons, let's do that using ChatGPT itself now. Right. So here you can see I am passing the question which you asked, and here you can see the response coming in. All right. Right. So here you can see about the differences and all those things. So now at the end, I can only say that explore this, play around with this. Don't worry about what is AI, will AI take my job or something like that. Upgrade yourself. No one will take our jobs. Just enjoy, just take this as assistance and try to build a lot of content for your branding, I can say. Start making yourself a brand using this software, right? No one will beat you. With that note, take care. We'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care, guys.